Strega Nona. In a town in Calabria a long time ago, there lived an old lady. Everybody called her Strega Nona, which meant Grandma Witch. Although all the people in town talked about her in whispers, if they had troubles, they all went to see her. Even the priest and the sisters of the convent went, because Strega Nona did have the magic touch. Well, she could cure a headache with oil and water and a hairpin. She made special potions for the girls who wanted husbands or boyfriends. And she was very good at getting rid of warts. But Strega Nona was growing old, and she needed somebody to help her keep her little house and garden. So she put up a help wanted sign in the town square. And Big Anthony, who didn't pay much attention, went to see her. "Oh, Anthony," said Strega Nona, "you must sweep the house and wash my dishes. You must weed the garden and pick the vegetables. You must feed my goat and milk her. Oh, and you must fetch the water. For this, Big Anthony, I'll give you 3 coins and a place to sleep and all the food you can eat." "Oh, grazie," said Big Anthony. And so the days went by, and Big Anthony did his work, and Strega Nona met with the people who came to see her for headaches, husbands, and warts. Big Anthony had this nice bed to sleep in next to the goat shed, and he had all the food he could eat. One evening, when Big Anthony was milking the goat, he heard Strega Nona singing. So he peeked in the window. Strega Nona was standing over the pasta pot. She sang, "Bubble, bubble, pasta pot, boil me pasta nice and hot. I'm hungry and it's time to sup, bag enough pasta to fill me up." What a lovely voice. And the pasta pot bubbled and boiled, and suddenly it was full of steaming hot pasta. Then Strega Nona sang again, "Enough, enough, my pasta pot, I have my pasta nice and hot. So simmer down my pot of clay until I'm hungry another day." "Oh, wonderful," said Big Anthony. "That's a magic pot for sure." And Strega Nona called Big Anthony in for supper. Too bad for Big Anthony. He didn't see Strega Nona blow 3 kisses to the magic pasta pot to make it stop. And this is what happened. The next day, when Big Anthony went to the town square to fetch the water, he told everybody in town about the magic pot. Everybody laughed at him because it sounded silly. Really? A pot that cooked all by itself? "You know, Big Anthony, you better go confess to the priest. That's just a lie." Big Anthony was angry. And angry's not a very good thing to be. "I'll show them. Someday I'm going to get that magic pasta pot and make it cook, and then they'll be sorry they made fun of me." Well, that day came sooner than even Big Anthony would have thought, because 2 days later, Strega Nona said to Big Anthony, "Oh, Anthony, I must go over the mountain to the next town to see my friend, Strega Amelia. Big Anthony, sweep the house and weed the garden, feed the goat and milk her, and for lunch I've got some bread and cheese in my cupboard. Oh, and Big Anthony, remember, don't you touch my pasta pot." "Oh, see, Strega Nona," said Big Anthony, but inside he was thinking, "Here's my chance." As soon as Strega Nona was out of sight, Big Anthony went inside and pulled the pasta pot off the shelf and put it on the floor. Oh, let's see if I can remember that song. Big Anthony sang, "Bubble, bubble, pasta pot, boil me pasta nice and hot. I'm hungry and it's time to sup, boil enough pasta to fill me up." Just like that, the pasta pot bubbled and boiled and began to fill up with pasta. Ha! There was enough for all the townspeople, including the priest and sisters from the convent. And some people came back for 2 and 3 helpings. The pot was never empty. When they all had their big fill of pasta, Big Anthony sang, "Enough, enough of my pasta pot. I have my pasta nice and hot. So simmer down my pot of clay until I'm hungry another day." Wow, what a lovely voice he has. But he didn't blow 3 kisses. He went outside and everybody was clapping. Big Anthony took a bow. He was so busy listening to compliments from everyone that he didn't notice the pasta pot was still bubbling and boiling. Until a sister from the convent said, "Big Anthony, look!" Uh-oh, pasta was pouring out of the pot all over the floor of Strega Nona's house, and it was coming out the front door. Big Anthony rushed in and shouted the magic words again and again, but the pot kept bubbling. Well, he took the pot off the floor, but the pasta kept pouring from it. Big Anthony grabbed a cover and put it on the pot and sat on it. But the pasta raised the cover and Big Anthony as well and spilled on the floor of Strega Nona's house. "Stop!" yelled Big Anthony. But the pasta didn't stop. And if someone hadn't grabbed poor Big Anthony, the pasta would have covered him up. The pasta had all but filled the little house. Out of the windows and through the doors came the pasta, and the pot kept right on bubbling. The townspeople began to worry. "Hey, Big Anthony, do something. Make it stop," they shouted. So Big Anthony sang the song again, but without the 3 kisses. It did no good. By this time, the pasta was on its way down the road, and the people were running for their lives just to stay ahead of it. "We must protect our town from the pasta," shouted the mayor. "Go home and get your mattress and tables and doors, anything to make a barricade." But even that didn't work. The pot kept bubbling and the pasta kept coming. "We're lost," said the townspeople. "The pasta's going to cover the whole town." And it certainly would have had Strega Nona not come down from the road from her visit. She didn't have to look twice to figure out what had happened. She sang the magic song, blew 3 kisses, and with a sputter, just like that, the pot stopped boiling. "Oh, Gracie, thank you, the townspeople cried. But then they turned on poor Big Anthony. "String him up!" yelled somebody. Now, you wait a minute," said Strega Nona. "The punishment must have fit the crime." She took a fork from a lady standing nearby and held it out to Big Anthony. "All right, Anthony, you wanted pasta from my magic pasta pot. I want to sleep in my little bed tonight. So, Big Anthony, start eating." And he did. He ate and ate and ate and ate. Poor Big Anthony. But that night, Strega Nona was able to sleep in her bed. And after a while, everybody lived. The end.